Stop buying bad monitors! If you are looking for the best monitor for PS5, Xbox Series X, or Xbox Series S, you've come to the right place. Hi, welcome back to PC Builder. I'm Jason. Now, buying a monitor for PS5 or Xbox Series X or S, it can be very complicated. That's why I see so many people buying bad gaming monitors and wasting their console gaming experience. Now, there's a lot of differences between buying a monitor for PC gaming, buying the best PS5 monitor, and buying the best monitor for Xbox Series X and S. We're going to cover everything that you need to know, including the difference between PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, and we'll make specific product recommendations for every budget and console. Remember, if you get value out of the video, give it a like because it really helps out the channel. And with that, let's jump into it. Let's talk about resolution and whether 1080p, 1440p, or 4K is right for you. Now, the key factors here are what your budget is and what console you own. On this front, there's some good news for PS5 owners in that it now supports 1440p gaming monitors natively since Sony's September 2022 update. But before you rush out and buy one, there's some bad news too that we'll go over when we cover variable refresh rates. But for now, buying the best PS5 monitor is much more similar to buying the best monitor for Xbox Series X or S. So what resolution is right for you? 1080p, it's for budget-conscious gamers looking to spend between $170 and about $250, depending on what features you're looking for. 1440p gaming monitors cost a bit more, between $280 and $450, but the bump up in overall image quality is nice. And if you're looking for the best monitor for Xbox Series S, given its lower performance than the Xbox Series X or the PS5, this is likely the sweet spot for you. Now, recently, 4K gaming monitors with the newer HDMI 2.1 have come down considerably, and they now begin around the $500 US price point and go up to $1,000 and beyond, depending on the size and the image quality, including some amazing OLED gaming TVs with incredible HDR capabilities. Let's talk about aspect ratio. While you might see a number of gaming monitors advertised as ultra-wide and even super ultra-wide, these are for PC gaming, as consoles do not support them very well. So if you own a console, stick to the more standard widescreen format of 16 by 9, meaning 16 pixels wide by 9 pixels in height, and avoid 21 by 9 or 32 by 9 monitors. For monitor size, 1080p monitors come in 24, 27, and 32-inch versions. 1440p gaming monitors are typically 27 and 32-inch, and 4K monitors start at 27 to 28-inch and go up to 32-inch and even much larger when we get into 4K gaming TVs. Refresh rates. Now, this generation of consoles introduced 120 Hz refresh rates, up from 60 Hz in the previous generation. You can effectively think of Hertz as frames per second or FPS. So 120 Hz equals a maximum capability of 120 FPS, as long as both your game and the monitor's HDMI version both support it, and of course you enable it in the system setup menu. The more FPS, the smoother the gaming experience. Now, here's the important part. If you want 120 Hz at 1080p, your monitor must have at least HDMI version 1.4 or better. If you want 120 Hz at 1440p, your monitor must have HDMI 2.0 or better. And if you want 120 Hz at 4K, your monitor must support the newer HDMI 2.1 version. The great news is that most modern gaming monitors at 1080p and 1440p now support 120 Hz over HDMI at their native resolution. At 4K, there are still 60 Hz monitors available for a cheaper price, and some older 4K high refresh rate monitors that do not offer HDMI 2.1, so make sure to get the right one. And remember that while most monitors will recommend or advertise between 144 Hz and 170 Hz, just know that rating is for PC gaming, and for console, you're going to max out at 120 Hz. So don't massively overspend on a 240 Hz or higher monitor just for the refresh rate, as it won't help you. Now let's talk variable refresh rates, or VRR for short, which syncs your monitor refresh rate and the graphics output of your console in order to avoid screen tearing. Now here I've got bad news for PS5 owners. Since both consoles are made by AMD with Radeon graphics, you'd think they'd both be able to use any monitor with AMD's VRR software called AMD FreeSync. Unfortunately, only the Xbox Series X and S can currently utilize FreeSync on gaming monitors, but not the PS5. However, with its September 2022 update, Sony Sony has rolled out VRR support over HDMI 2.1 gaming monitors, virtually all of which are 4K monitors. So if you own a PS5 and this is an important feature for you, probably going to narrow down your options to 4K. Of course, the PS5 will work fine with any 1080p or 1440p gaming monitor. Just know that you won't be able to use the VRR feature. For Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S owners, as long as you buy a recently released gaming monitor that has AMD FreeSync or HDMI 2.1, you're good to go. Response time. Now, response time is the time it takes for a pixel to go from one color state to another. And these times are listed in milliseconds, or ms for short. The shorter the time, the better. Now, unfortunately, most manufacturers list ridiculous times like 1 millisecond or even lower, which are pretty much just a lie. The only way to reliably get accurate response times is through trusted third-party reviews that use testing hardware. So anytime that I refer to a response time in this video, I'm referring to an actual tested time and not the nonsense the manufacturer lists on their Amazon page. Panel type. Now, there are effectively three types: IPS, VA, and the new OLED, though you'll only find OLED widescreen panels at 4K resolution right now. And at the time of this video, the only 1440p OLED gaming monitor is ultra-wide, which is not recommended for console. However, we will likely see some 1440p widescreen OLEDs out at the beginning of 2023. Now, for gaming consoles, OLED represents a huge leap in technology, including incredible HDR and 10-bit color capabilities over either VA or IPS panels. Of course, they also cost a lot more as well, most at the $1,000 or greater price point, though some 120Hz OLED TVs are available for increasingly more reasonable prices. Now, for those choosing between gaming monitors using VA or IPS panel types, just know that IPS tends to be in the flat panels and has better color, while VA panels have much better contrast and deeper blacks, while being found in the curved panels. Speaking of the curved panels, the curvature rating is a number followed by R, and the lower that number means the more curved the monitor is. So a 1000R monitor is more curved than a 1500R monitor. All my recommendations are linked down in the video description by category. We're going to update these deals every couple of days as things sell out, and of course, new deals pop up. So check out the description for the current best deals. Deals listed with a fire emoji in front of it are particularly good deals in that category. And if it's got two fire emojis, that means it's a particularly good deal for any category. Let's start off for budget-conscious gamers at 1080p. Maybe you spent most of your money on the console itself. I certainly understand that they're not cheap, and you're just looking for something that's going to give you good visuals at 1080p and won't break the bank. I'm going to start right here at the AOC 24G2 and its variants, including the AOC 24G2 SP. They're all effectively the same. Fantastic monitors. I continuously recommend these monitors as my top choice at 1080p for the budget category, not just for console, but also for PC gaming as well. 165Hz refresh rate, so if you're also plugging in this monitor to a PC and you want to do gaming with it, it's got a really high refresh rate on it for 1080p at this price point. $179 is really, really tough to beat. Overall, one of the absolute best budget monitors you can get, though there are other ones in its category, so if this one does run out of stock, I will leave more linked down in the video description, so check those out. There is, of course, a 27-inch version of it as well, the 27G2 or the 27G2 SP. Doesn't really matter which one you get. They both have AMD FreeSync on it, so if you're an Xbox Series X or S owner, that's what you're looking for on these monitors. Remember, you want AMD FreeSync so you can get variable refresh rate and you don't get screen tearing. PS5 owners, yell at Sony. You're just out of luck unless you're going to get one of the more expensive 4K monitors, which we'll go through in a little bit. But for $199, again, absolutely fantastic monitors, very similar panel. If you are looking to spend just a little bit more and you want maybe better audio, maybe you don't have a set of speakers that you're going to use with your console, and you're looking for something kind of an all-in-one package, well, BenQ has two monitors I want to recommend. The EX2510S, very, very nice monitor overall. Actually has very usable speakers in the monitor itself. Most monitor speakers are absolute trash. These aren't that bad. They're actually quite good. Now, of course, if you're going to get dedicated speakers, those are probably going to be better. But if you're looking for kind of an all-in-one package, $229, hard to beat. There is a 27-inch version of it as well. Although for $279, we are getting to the range now where we're running into the lower end of 1440p. So that's something you should consider as we kind of hike up the price in terms of 1080p. And finally, if you're somebody who's looking for a bigger screen experience, you're looking more like 32 inches, I'll leave a couple of links. There's 1080p 32 inch is kind of a dying category, but there are still some monitors out there that will work for you. The LG 32 GN550-B is definitely one of them. It's got AMD FreeSync Premium on it, will support 120 hertz refresh rate. Overall, pretty good panel. Not the best panel, but pretty good. Some people, of course, don't like 32-inch 1080p because if you sit too close to it, they say that you can see the pixels. Never been an issue for me, but if that bothers you, I would consider spending maybe about $30 or $40 more and jumping up to 1440p. Let's jump into the best 1440p gaming monitors for PS5, Xbox Series S and X. And the great news here is that the prices have come down significantly since last year, both at the entry-level portion of the tier and the mid-range as well. So let's punch through these. Remember, if you're an Xbox Series S owner, I strongly recommend this as the sweet spot. You certainly can still look at 4K if you want. However, to me, this is the sweet spot because remember, the Series S has less performance than the Series X or the PS5. As long as you get something with AMD FreeSync, you're good. Starting off with the HP X27Q, absolutely phenomenal budget gaming monitor at 1440p. Really good response times, really nice panel on this one, great picture quality. Not a lot to say. HDMI 2.0, that's again what you're looking for in order to hit 120 hertz at 1440p. $282 right now. Sometimes you can find this as cheap as $260. Sometimes it's a little bit more like $299. Anywhere in that price range, it's a good buy. The other monitor that I would definitely take a look at is the Gigabyte M27Q and its newer version, the M27Q-P, which is currently out of stock as I'm filming this video. I do expect it to come back in stock in the preceding weeks. Either one's absolutely fine, especially for console where you're not dealing with a lot of text on the screen, where it's mostly visual quality. So I would recommend grabbing either one of these. Again, FreeSync Premium on this. It's got really good response times on it. And if you're also using this for a PC, 170 hertz refresh rate. Overall, the M27Q-P was my top choice for PC gaming for 1440p this summer. I'm still strongly recommending it, even at something like $299 or all the way up to $330. Another really good option at 1440p, especially if those other two are either more expensive or they're not available in your region, is the Dell S2722DGM. I hate the name, but I love the performance. This is a curved VA panel, so it's got better contrast than the other monitors. You're going to get slightly better blacks out of this, for instance. 27 inches. Whether you want to use this for just console or also PC gaming, a really good choice for PC gaming as well. It's got HDMI 2.0, so you're going to get 120 hertz overall. $299 over at Amazon right now can often be found a little bit cheaper or even just a slightly more expensive. Anywhere in that range, I would go ahead and grab it. If, of course, you're looking for something larger like a 32-inch, the Gigabyte M32Q, especially at the price you're seeing right here. I don't know if you're going to see that price when you go down and click on that link, so make sure to click on those links to get the current pricing. $300 is a little bit insane for this monitor. I would snap this up immediately at this price, but I would even buy it closer to, $350 or that price range as well if you're looking for something larger. Absolutely great monitor, very similar to the M27Q, just 32 inches. So great one to take a look at. But what if you have a little bit more money to spend and you don't just want the best entry level, you want the best 1440p gaming monitor for console? Well, let me introduce you to the MSI Mag 274QRFQD. Now, in terms of overall 1440p gaming monitors, I would call this the mid-range, but only PC gamers are going to get any value out of spending more money than this. This is where I would focus if I was a console gamer and I wanted the best for console. This has phenomenal color gamut to it. It's got great motion clarity, incredible response times, very low latency to it as well. Just an all-around phenomenal monitor. And right now, $407. Bounces anywhere from about $390 up to about $420, kind of all over the place. But anywhere in that price range, I would just go ahead and grab it. Absolutely fantastic monitor. Now, just in case that is not available in your region, let me give you an alternative, which is the LG 27GP850-B. Comes very, very close in my estimation to the MSI monitor. Doesn't quite make it there, but honestly, most people would probably never be able to tell the two apart. That's just my personal opinion. For $399, this one also is usually a little bit cheaper as well. Can sell for as little as $360. There's also a 32-inch version of it that also sells for usually around $400. As I'm filming this video, is out of stock, but I do expect it to come back in. Let's jump into 4K gaming monitors, and oh my gosh, look at that price, $479. That's right, the price of 4K gaming has come down significantly since last year, and that's why I keep telling people, don't overspend on these super high-end 1440p monitors anymore. We'll get into, of course, large format 4K, including OLED in just a second, but let's stick with gaming monitors in this class. And the first one, right off the bat, the Gigabyte M28U. And PS5 owners, great news for you, because you, using HDMI 2.1, you get VRR, so you don't get any screen tearing. So congratulations, you've joined the VRR party at 4K here. And listen, for $479, this is insane. This monitor sold as recently as a couple months ago for $650. Now it's $479, and that price does just keep dropping and keep dropping. The great news about this is overall very, very good monitor. Still entry level, has, yes, of course, a couple of compromises to it. This is not an HDR capable monitor. You still can get 120 hertz at 4K using this monitor over HDMI 2.1. It has a little bit of overshoot to it, but otherwise it's a phenomenal panel. And frankly, for $479, I would grab this one immediately. If you're looking for something a little bit larger than that, Gigabyte M32UC. Now there is the M32U, which is a flat panel. However, that one right now is stupidly priced at $680. I just wouldn't do it. I would go for the curved model instead. Similar response times to the M28U. Absolutely phenomenal panel. Now this is a VA panel, so the contrast on this is going to be a little bit better. Color not quite as good as the other one. I think you're going to get an amazing experience. For $529 for 32-inch, 4K, 120 hertz, this is where you want to be. Let me give you an alternative in case those monitors are not available in your region for some reason. That's the Samsung Odyssey G7 4K model, also called the G70A. Samsung with the stupid naming, I don't get it. There are two G7s. One is 1440p that we're not recommending for you, and this is the 4K one that we are recommending for you if the Gigabyte models aren't available or overpriced or something like that. Now this right now is selling for $599, has come significantly lower than I believe it's $800 initial asking price, and continues to come down to be competitive with the Gigabyte. Personally, we own this monitor. We use it for content creation as well as gaming. Slightly better than the Gigabyte M28U, but honestly, most people wouldn't be able to tell them apart. So I would primarily go to this one if you're looking for an alternative. This does have the full bandwidth HDMI 2.1, but again, doesn't really have enough local dimming zones in it in order to be fully HDR capable. To me, nothing is really HDR capable if you've played on OLED that's HDR capable. So I wouldn't buy it just for that. I would still go with the Gigabyte. But if you're looking for the alternative, this is a good option. Let's jump into 4K large format stuff. So this is like if you want a game room type of experience, you're not just looking for a monitor to just sit on your desk necessarily. You're looking for something 43 inches, 48 inches larger. Let's jump into that. And honestly, Gigabyte, in terms of monitor companies, is really the one that's pushing this kind of stuff. It's really, really good to see. Let's start off with two different models. The first is a non-OLED, but for $679, if you're looking for a 43-inch amazing gaming monitor for your console, this is great. This also works well for your PC. It's got all the similar features to Gigabyte's other ones, including the KVM features where you can plug in the same keyboard mouse into multiple devices, which is really, really nice if you're going to use this display for multiple things. This display, by the way, is absolutely phenomenal for a non-OLED panel. It's got great color gamut to it, great response times to it. $679. This would be my choice if you're looking for something a little bit bigger. But that brings us to OLED panels, because honestly, if you're after an HDR experience, then you definitely want to go OLED. And I will tell you that we game on our PS5 on an LG C1 OLED OLED. We'll see what is available from LG in just a moment. And the experience is just not comparable between OLED and regular LED type monitors, LED, LCD type monitors. So let's jump into the AOS FO 48U. Again, Gigabyte is out there doing these really cool large format things. This is their first OLED monitor. Now, this is not a TV. It doesn't come with all the features of a TV, but it is a really, really nice monitor. HDMI 2.1. The contrast is absolutely incredible. The blacks are incredible. $962. Now, I had been recommending, again, the C1, the LG C1 OLED at this price bracket. However, that TV has effectively gone out of existence. They've now introduced the C2, which is considerably more expensive. Unfortunately, the C1 had been selling for about $890 to about $1,000. That's why I hadn't been recommending the Aorus one, because while you're at it, why not get the TV features? But hey, given the hole in the market right now, this is definitely what I would be recommending right now if you're looking to go OLED on a budget and get that amazing experience. Then, of course, we do have the LG C2 OLED. Now, again, the C1 is completely gone. I can't find it anywhere on the market anymore, unfortunate, because the C2 is considerably more expensive. The 48-inch C1 had been around $900, as I was saying. The 42-inch, a smaller version of the C2, is $1,246 right now. And of course, they have various sizes. You can get all the way up to 65-inch and larger. But if you want the absolute best of the best of the best of the best, this is it right here. Amazing sound system in this thing. We game, like I was saying, on the C1 OLED, not terribly different from the C2. If you're looking for a TV and the gaming experience, it kind of stops here. Remember, if you got value out of the video, give it a like. It makes a huge difference to the channel. Remember to check out all the links to all the products we talked about in the video description below. Of course, we are going to update those and put in new deals as they come out. And if you find any great deals, let us know down in the comments. What are you finding out there? And we'll catch you on the next one.